Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. Hello everyone, how are you? Today, Palm Sunday is also Daffodil Sunday. Did you know that? Daffodil, I think it's Daffodil Sunday. At least that's what it says on my calendar, my Susan branch calendar. And so I wanted to show you this wonderful daffodil craft that is completely free. You don't even need to be a Cricut Access member to do this one. A lot of my tutorials are, contingent. They're free, contingent upon being a Cricut Access member, but not this one. This one comes from Dreaming Tree, which is it's an independent designer. You can find them at 3dsvg.com, and this is what it looks like. I've even got my hi Sydney. It's okay. Oh, I know. I have been so busy. Sydney's saying she missed our date night. Did you guys know that we have a date night every week for Cricut, live Cricut chat? We do it right now. We do it over on YouTube on Friday nights. And we have fun. It's an hour long. We have a little bit of fun. We do some kind of projects. And in fact, Sydney, this project we did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to show it again because most people didn't get to see it. So it's this really pretty daffodil tea light. And you put in a little, a fake, not a real tea light. You put that in there. And it has this beautiful yellow and also green vellum. And I'm going to show you how to color your vellum paper because it's very hard to find vellum in colors. At least that's what you did make it? Awesome. Isn't it so adorable? And I was thinking, for Daffodil Sunday, I was going to show you how to make daffodils from paper, but I thought, hey, this is a really fun and simple and beautiful craft. So I found this on this website called 3dsvg. It's free. And you can download it and also the colored vellum here too. If you've never been here, it's 3dsvg.com. And you can search, it's a free file, and they have a whole mess of free files right here. There's like over 100 at least, and all different ones for all the holidays and also for spring holidays as well. Or you can search for it by just typing in daffodil and it will come up. And the thing is about this site is that some of the files are free and some of them are paid files. So they give you the free files so that you can kind of get used to what their style is. And they usually like smaller projects, but they're really pretty projects, and they have a lot of tea lights too. And they're awful pretty. So one of the things I liked about this project is, let's see if it's going to open up, is that it has this beautiful vellum. And I love vellum. It's so much fun to play with, but you do need to get kind of used to it. So I'm going to show you how to, first how to color your vellum, and then how to cut it and put it onto our project. So let's get started, okay? So first what you want to do is you want to download this, which you just add it to your cart. You do have to create an account, but because it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, but you do have to fill in, your name, email, and address and all of that. And that's for them, for future marketing. And you can't spite them for, oh, really? Oh, you have an Explore, right, Sydney? Sydney's saying she had a hard time with pressure. I always use the custom vellum setting, and it does really well. It does really well for me. So, anyway, so you're going to put this in your cart. But while you're putting this in your cart, you're going to also type in VULLEM, vellum. Oops, sorry. V-E-L-L-U-M. I spelled it wrong. V-E-L-L-U-M. V-E-L-L-U-M. And you're going to want to grab these two files, the spring color pack, because it has a green in there. You could also do the Halloween one, Vellum pack. It has a green in there, but it's more of like a spooky green, but we want the yellow for the daffodil. So grab them both. They're both free. And you go ahead and you go through the process of ordering this, and then you download it to your computer. And then what you're going to do is, before you go ahead and get to your machine, you're going to color the vellum. You need a printer for this. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the vellum, and I buy my vellum in 8.5 by 11 inch sheets. Let me get you what I have. So I buy it like this, 8.5 by 11. It's available at like Michael's, craft stores. I also buy it online in packs of 50 because I really like using vellum. But it always seems to come in this translucent. Sometimes you can find gold, but I can never find the other colors. So the folks over at Dreamy Tree anticipated this. And they created these PDFs so that we can color the vellum. So you're going to put the vellum into your printer, and then you're going to open up that file. So this one here is printable vellum colors. So we're going to choose underneath there. We've got orange, pumpkin, purple, red, slime. That's that green and yellow. So we're going to open that up, and what we'll open up it's just a blank PDF of yellow. And I know that seems a little strange, but what you're going to do is print this yellow, and the yellow will print on the vellum. And let's see. I did it earlier today, and I did it with this green, and it will print on the 8.5 by 11. It will leave a little bit of a border around it, but still it's green exactly the way that we want it. And then you can stick it onto your mat. So when you are going, let's go back to the file then. So when you are, let's go back here. Okay, so when you're ready to do this, you're going to upload the images from the file that you purchased from this file. And this file consists of, it's a base. So this part here, it's a base. Okay, base. And then there is the actual like round part that's done in green. And then on the front is our like patterned paper, and then on the inside is where we put the vellum. So we have to cut all of those pieces out. So you'll see on our screen, here's the base. This is the actual tea light, the square. This is our patterned paper, and then these two bits here are the vellum. Now I've already cut out everything except for the green vellum because I wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to in my program here, I'm just going to put the little eyeball, like you can't see it, so I can just cut that green vellum. And here we go. So, and this is a maker. So for me, I don't have a dial, but you might have a dial. If you have a dial, like if you have an Explorer machine, you would set the dial to custom, and then you'd come here to materials, okay? And does it take a lot of ink? It really doesn't, Amy, that I know of. And it's not really wet when it comes out. Like, I don't know if it's just that's the... She's asking about does it use a lot of ink. You're only going to need one sheet. And actually, if you want to make two of these, you can actually cut two off of the 8.5 by 11. It kind of like only uses half of a sheet. So you can save the rest. Okay. So once I hit custom, I'm going to go to all my materials. And if you don't have it as one of your favorites, vellum, which I think I do. I might somewhere. But I go to browse all materials, and you can type in Vellum. And here you go. And there it is. And you could put a little star next to it if you want. And you select it. And then you're ready to cut it. Now again, this is a printed vellum, and I've put it on to a very sticky mat. That's the thing about vellum in Sydney, that might have been an issue, is that it really has to be on a really good mat, because if it lifts in any way, it causes problems with the way that it's cut. It's a really interesting material to work with. So I'm going to cut the green because I hadn't cut that out, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that while I cut that out. So let me show you how this goes together. I'm going to move my camera a little bit. So while that's cutting, we'll come down here. It wasn't cutting all the way through. Interesting. Have you checked your blade lately? Sometimes when you're doing some different materials, it causes problems, but all right. So I'm trying to make it so this isn't kind of crooked, but oh well, it is. Okay, so I know you guys can figure that out. So, okay, so here are all of our pieces. We have the base. And you see here, from this file, it doesn't use the scoring stylus or the scoring wheel. It uses like a dashed line to make the scores. Okay, so we have a base. Then we have, this is the main piece. It's all one piece, and it's scored on each corner. Then we have also these 4 pieces that I cut out from a patterned paper that I liked. And then, of course, we have our vellum. So let's get started with the base. So the base is pretty simple. We're just going to make it, looks kind of like a pizza box to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just craving pizza or something. It's been a while. But so we're going to use our liquid glue. I always use liquid glue. This is the glue that I use. It's called Art Glitter Glue. You don't have to use this, although I do like this one. It is available. You can get it like on Amazon. I also buy it at createforless.com, and it comes in like a refillable, like a larger jug, and I love this size for some reason. It's good easy in my hand, and it has like this really cool precision tip as well that you can put on there. So we're just going to glue up each of the sides. We're going to put glue on the tabs here, and it fix them. And you know what I always say about glue is that a little goes a long way. Don't use a whole lot. If you need to add more later, then add more later, but really don't need a whole lot. And it just gets real messy if you use too much. It squirts out of the sides. And sometimes, especially with vellum, and I'm going to show you that in a sec, but with vellum, it can like buckle or warp the vellum. So, okay, so we're just going to close that up. It's just like a pizza box, right? So that it becomes like the foundation or the stand in which our daffodil light's going to go. Okay, so we put that aside. That was easy, right? Then we're going to take our one piece, and we're going to fold it at all of these score lines, right? And then there's actually a line, a score line here that's going to make the square. But before we do that, we're going to put the patterned paper on the front. Now you do have to match these up because each of these flowers, although they look somewhat similar, they go in a very specific way. So you have to make sure they're all matched up. Same holds true for the vellum. So we're going to go ahead and, just place them on there. And again, with the glue, just teeny tiny dots, really. You don't need a whole lot. And if you need to go back, you can always go back, right? So we're going to go and put all of these dots in all the corners and all, to make sure that I like to make sure that like all the pieces that might stick out get a little tiny dot of glue. Then we put it on. Might have to adjust it ever so slightly. And there's our first one. And we'll just continue on with this and keep going. Let's see. Now, in terms of, like, this is what's called an SVG. So if you guys have never tried downloading an SVG, this is good practice. The ones that are free over at 3D SVG Dreaming Tree, there's a whole bunch, and it's a good practice for you in working with SVGs, and, you know, no cost. So really all you're doing is just sort of, you know, investing a little bit of time in it. So, and it works up to their bigger, they have some pretty beautiful, but sort of bigger projects that are, you know, you have to have a lot of patience for, and they're just beautiful projects, but they take hours, sometimes days. And the other website that I always refer people to is SVG Cuts, and they have similar kinds of projects. She also has, Mary also has a bunch of free files there, and her website is svgcuts.com. And let's see, we're almost done here on the front. Now you guys are going to be a lot more careful than I am, of course. I'm sort of rushing because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Okay, so now we have all 4 of the pieces of the pattern paper on the front. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to start with the vellum. Now, there are, as I mentioned with the front, each of these pieces of vellum are very specific to each of the flowers. So you have to kind of have a little patience and match them up. And one of the things is you have to flip them over, because it's the front facing that is going to be put onto the back. I don't know if that makes sense, but I cut it out and I could see the difference. I don't know if you can see the difference, but you can kind of see this ever so slightly different color. And so you do have to flip it over, because you're going to be looking at the wrong side, you see? Because you want the right side to appear on the front. Okay, so we're just making sure, oops, there we go. And then the last piece here. Now, and I have the green one. We'll do the green one after. Listen, vellum, it's a very unique material to work with. It really, you need to go very, very light on the glue. And I tend to not put it on the actual material. And I just dot around where the vellum is going to go. And the reason why I have to go light is if you put too much on there accidentally, if you blob a little too much glue, then what's going to happen is the vellum kind of, it gets wavy. It's like it's too much. So once you put it on there, you really do need to make sure that it's stuck really, really good on there, because again, it gets a little wavy. It's a bit delicate to work with, but it is a fun material. So we're going to continue on just like we did in the front. We're just going to put the little glue dots all around. And apply. And press down really well. You really want it to make contact with the paper, okay? And then this one. And again, I'm rushing. Don't you rush. I'm rushing and I probably mess up, but don't you rush. Take your time with this, okay? And the end result is really just so fabulous that you're just going to thank yourself for taking your time with it, okay? I remember telling people, I have a friend who's, unfortunately, her husband died, and she was having like a memorial service in this beautiful barn in Newbury, and she asked me if I would help her with some of the like table centerpieces. So I went to 3D SVG and I found a beautiful firefly tea light, and it was a free file, and everyone was so impressed with them. They were so beautiful. I did them in like a teal and a purple, which were his favorite colors and her favorite colors, and it was just really show-stopping. So don't discount free, because free can sometimes be very good. All right, so now we have our green pieces, and again, I'm going to flip them over because this is the front, and we want to make sure that the front goes facing out, and we're working on the back, okay? This one goes here, and I think this one goes here, and this one here. So... sorry, I don't want to take up too much of your time this afternoon. I hope you all are doing well. You know, it's a little bit hard. I understand everybody that likes to go, particularly during Holy Week, to start off Holy Week with services. And I'm so grateful that a lot of churches are offering services online so people can watch them. And sort of, you know, the church isn't about the actual building. It's about the people that go to it, right? So, but Holy Week is so special. I've always enjoyed, this is actually my favorite holiday, Easter. And the whole of Holy Week, I used to do all kinds of projects for like, the week, and go to church every single day for the whole of Holy Week. Yeah, I was that kind of a brought up that way, Catholic, so it's a little hard to not be able to go to church on Holy Week. So I understand that. So okay. So now I've got all of my vellum on the back. Let's turn it over so you can see. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Just so lovely. So what we're going to do is we're going to close it up now. And the easiest way to do that is to fold it in half, and we're going to put the glue on this tab first. And you notice that the tab is sort of jagged. That's to accommodate the cutout here. Okay, so then we're going to fold that tab in, and while we're working on a flat surface, we're going to push that down so that that glue makes a contact. And then when you open it up, you have your box, and it's perfectly even. So there you go. It doesn't look wobbly. Then we're going to fold the 3 tabs in here at the bottom, and we're going to put glue on these tabs. And then just close it up with this piece here. Now they do give you another piece. Let me just show you what I do when I am doing something with tabs on the bottom. I always use like my glue bottle to make sure those tabs are getting real stuck, because by pushing it on here, sometimes it doesn't make the right contact. So they also give you this extra piece here, which you can put in there on the bottom to give it a very clean finished look, and also kind of stabilizes the bottom for you as well. I'll make sure that you put a little bit of glue on there to hold it in there. And then the final step is to attach the top piece to the bottom. Just a little bit more glue. and sort of center it onto the bottom here. And you don't want to push too hard because our little pizza box is hollow, remember? And then you're done. Now, I will mention that I do use these. I pick these up like at the end of Christmas and stuff like that. I pick these up because they're usually half price or more, and they last forever. So I usually pick these up. So it doesn't have to be the white ones. These ones are gold, but they go in there and they just give off a beautiful glow, and you can see through the yellow. And it really makes all the difference to have that colored vellum. Now, if you don't have a printer to do the colored vellum, I have heard people use like magic markers and stuff to color the vellum. You could do that as well. Or if, you could cut them out and then use the marker if that helps with the vellum. But the vellum really does, that colored vellum really does give it that over the top look, and just so pretty. And I just think, for the times we're living in right now, it's just a fun thing to have and to enjoy Daffodil Sunday. So that is all for the tutorial today. However, I did want to show you a couple of things. I just received a package from Cricut, and people have been asking about different things for the joy. So this week coming up, I'm going to go over these deluxe papers. I'm going to turn them over so you can see them. This one is a Natalie Milan, which is just beautiful. And this one is, it's from J. Good Designs, Always Spring. So it's really pretty spring. This one is called Nature Walk. It's also a Natalie Milan. And then, of course, we've got our beautiful Anna Griffin ones. And these are adhesive paper. They're adhesive back deluxe paper. So I want to show you what they are. I did show you them earlier. I think it was in February when we were just launching the Joy. But it's basically these are cut. I think they're 4.5 inches. Yeah, they're 4.5 by 12 inches, and you get, it looks like you get two sheets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different patterns, and they are adhesive backed. But you do need to put them onto, if you're going to do them in the Joy, they're not a smart material. You do need to put them on a mat. So I'm going to show you a few little projects with these adhesive back paper, just because they're so pretty. And I really feel like I kind of just glossed over that, and the labels I kind of glossed over, and I kind of want to backtrack and show you guys how to make those labels with the smart labels. And then what else? Oh, so I've got this project that's coming up with, well, actually it's sort of in the works now. Have you heard about like people decorating their windows with rainbows? So the folks over at Cricut kind of challenged the product experts to do a similar thing in the window. So I've been thinking about it for a while, like what I was going to do. And I thought about doing like window cling, and then I thought, well, the window cling doesn't come in all the colors. So I think I'd get removable vinyl. So I did get a pack of that, and this is the primary color. So it's orange, yellow, purple, blue, red, green. And instead of like, I think some people have been doing hearts and rainbows, but I thought I would do corgis because, I love corgis. And I think it would be funny because my dogs sit in the front door, and everybody comes and that walks by, they greet, sometimes not so nicely, but they do greet everybody that walked by the door. So everybody knows that my house is the one with the corgi sitting in the window. And I just thought if I put corgis all over the window, that would be fun. So we're going to do that project this week. I also got, look at this. I got infusible ink markers in these beautiful colors, and they are aster, teal, and pink. and these are infusible inks. We're going to do some infusible ink stuff. One of them is a 0.4 tip, and the other one is a 1.0 tip. So we're going to do that a little bit, and a few other goodies that I'll show you all later as the week goes on. So I hope that you enjoyed tonight's tutorial and look forward to seeing you through the week this week. We're going to continue to work on spring things. We're going to be doing some Easter box cards because I love box cards. So I've got a few from Lori Whitlock and some from Mary at SVG Cut. So that should be fun. So I do hope you join me during the week here or on my YouTube channel, Miss Rita to the Rescue. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again really soon.